I'm here outside of Birmingham Council House, where today hundreds of people have turned out in protest over possible residential developments being built over Birmingham's iconic LGBTQ+ community. Inside this building, the Council Committee will be voting shortly on the future of these pending developments. Despite a call to action only being placed online within the last week from Birmingham Pride and the Nightingale Club, hundreds of people arrived in force at Birmingham Council House, with people travelling as far as from London due to their connection with the scene. The turnout was so large that the door to the council chamber was unable to close, and individuals were lining the steps to the building. Frequent visitors to Birmingham's LGBTQ+ quarter within the Southside district would have noticed extensive construction work taking place over the last few months. This major residential development is of great concern, with car parks that have typically housed the main stages of Birmingham Pride and land already occupied by LGBTQ+ business being recommended for planning permission. Despite objections from the pillars of this community, this land has been purchased by property developers with the aim of creating new residential apartment blocks. Due to the volume of interest, Councillor McCarthy stated it was only right to begin the meeting with the city centre developments.
In their opinion, this quarter's opinion, that there is no longer an LGBT scene in Birmingham, and that the area has changed.
Though there were some laughs when an objection was received stating that no LGBT community exists in Birmingham anymore, proceedings were tense as several councillors, including Councillor Moore and Councillor Hunt, called for a rejection of the development due to the erosive effect it will have on the neighbourhood, as the proposal does not comply with the character of the area. Representing King's Chamber, Sarah Glover began proceedings on behalf of the opposition. Stating the inadequacies of the noise acoustic survey and the close proximity of the apartments to the Nightingale Club, irregardless of the apartments having glazed windows, Sarah put forward a convincing argument calling for a rejection of the development plans. Followed closely by Lawrence Barton of the Nightingale Club, a heartfelt plea was made where he insisted, no Nightingale Club, no community.
We've got one of the largest gay scenes in the UK, second only to London, I would suggest. The developers approached us to have a meeting, to which they didn't attend.
In support of the developments, John Gower put forward the case for glazed windows to minimise the noise in addition to ventilation systems to prevent the need to open windows. On behalf of his client, he insisted that all necessary work was done to council standards thus far, despite initial sound acoustic surveys being rejected. At this point, it had become clear that this was a battle between cultural heritage and corporate development.
And the gentleman that was talking about supporting the application suggested that people will just simply not open their windows. It's just absurd. Councillor Ward made a very important reference to appropriateness for the area, and that in fact our whole community should be respected, and that there's actually an opportunity for a developer to come along and propose something that actually would complement the area and add value, not just to put a block of apartments there, people's bedrooms opposite a nightclub. And a community that's used Southside, relies on Southside for almost 50 years.
This sentiment was supported by Councillor Robson, who supported deferral of the vote on the grounds of more information now being available, stating that planning policy does not always account for cultural heritage. Historic buildings, yes, but historical culture needs to be taken into account too. With no councillor outright stating support for the new developments, the decision for deferral was made with a site visit planned for the near future. While there were sighs of relief and applause from the attending observers, this deferral was seen by many as a small victory for those that turned out in protest. There was much excited chatter amongst the crowd following the vote, but concerns from the LGBTQ+ community for the future of their safe space was still in the air.
This today marks a victory, not just for the Nightingale Club opposing this particular development, it marks a victory for the LGBT community. We came together in solidarity today to oppose a development which was placed 12 metres from the front door of the Nightingale Club. I think it's clear from today that this particular development in its current form will not be given approval.
So basically that is a community that is already marginalised and oppressed, and we're being pushed out of the only safe space that we have. So yeah, it's peak, and it's basically just, I don't know, I guess capitalism at its finest.
The more people there, although everything is set in motion and people have their ideas and businesses to councillors, it shows that there are people that use the scene, need the scene, and will hopefully be able to have an impact quietly about that by just being there.
I am frankly puzzled, and they haven't really looked up this like 50 years of history here. 50 years of history. So I am puzzled how someone can even be in that state of denial when I've been involved, be it in the Nightingale, be it with the LGBT. There is a scene here, and it's been here for a long time.
I think that as a community we need to band together, become more politically motivated, and just work towards keeping our community solid and keeping our safe spaces safe.
I think it was important to be here today to show solidarity with the rest of the community. You know, these are spaces that not just that we visit but that we live in and that we really come to rely on, and we need to be there to fight for them whenever anything is there to threaten them and to threaten our communities in the city.
My fear would be that people would buy these new flats without even really being aware of the area and the community, and then making noise complaints, and that would directly affect us.
It's clear that there is a community. All you have to do is go there and you can see it. Like every night there's people that together. The reason why there's such a strong community all in one place is because they need a safe space, because it's not that safe in this area to be LGBTQ. It isn't. Like I grew up here, I know.
Today's proceedings not only demonstrated the viability of Birmingham's LGBTQ+ scene, but also their commitment and their perseverance to ensuring that their safe space is protected. With the vote deferred and a site visit planned for the near future, the city's iconic gateway truly does hang in the balance. I'm Joshua Williams, outside of the city's council house for I Am Birmingham.